What it do, what it is, what it be. It's the big boss hog. Boss dog. K-Po through the door to talk to us boxing. Fuck about soliloquy. Remember, tough times don't last. Good people do, not for self. Caught him in the foul line. Maybe it matter. Peak game. Peak game. 84's on what? Swing. Y'all know what this is. We clutched up. We clutched out. You know, we talk about that boxing. Before we get into the main entree, the main dish, got to introduce our second host, future Hall of Fame legend. Salute to all our soldiers. And for real, what's going on in the Middle East, man? Man, you know, salute to all y'all, man, who going over there taking care of business and keeping us safe. That's what it is. But on the hustle, okay, Coach B, let them know how we doing, man.
Hey, what it is, family? Y'all heard what time it is. We clutched up. We clutched out. Y'all know what we're here to talk about. Hey, let's get straight to it. You feel me? Hey, y'all know what I'm finna tell y'all next, though. God woke you up. He put breath in your body. Everything is extra. Get up. Do you. Take care of you. Take care of the fam. Continue to progress and stay blessed. And with all that being said, I'm going to pass it back to K Poe. Let's continue the show. Let them know how we flow.
Go over to the next one, man. So, Coach Calvin Ford, man, he talks about Gervonta Tank Davis. He says, man, Gervonta Tank Davis is coming back, and it's going to be a fighter that we all want, and there's gonna be a fighter that's is all under our nose. So, Coach, the question is, who do you think Gervonta Tank Davis is gonna come back and fight, and when do you think it's a good time for him to come back and fight? Let me know something.
Honestly, I'm not changing where we've been standing at over here on Clutch Factory. Tank Davis needs to go back and re-exploit his only knock. Well, I'm not gonna say his only knock. He needs to re-exploit the most questionable fight of his career, and that's Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? Over here on Clutch Factory, we 100% agree that was a draw. Simply because I reiterate, because Lamont Roach did not capitalize after the fact that he knew he can get with a Tank, or he knew he had the referee on his side somewhat when that kneel was taken and the count was started. He did not take that next step and show elite skill set. He did not show elite mentality. He did not show a killer mentality. So that's why that fight ended up being a draw. You gotta make it clear when you're in the ring with a guy like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, or Shockey Foster, even Keyshawn Davis. You got to show the separation when you get in there with those guys, and you have an opportunity to win the fight. If you don't show a clear separation with those some of those guys I named, you're not gonna get the win, and y'all know that. So again, I still stand where I stand, and I'm staying on my 10 to the end. You feel me? But Tank Davis, it's only one fight he need to be thinking about, and that's Lamont Roach. And if we don't get Lamont Roach, it's only one other guy. You got to go find a way to hunt down Shakur Stevenson. I mean, that I would love to see that fight. Still want to see that fight. But outside of him, I don't think we're gonna get Shakur Stevenson and Tank. So the only other guy right now that he should have his eye on, that should be the prize, is Lamont Roach. And again, this is another exclamation point for me. He needs to beat him. Beat. Beat the brakes off that boy. He need to beat him. It should be no questions. It shouldn't be left in the judge's hand. His lights need to be cut off. He need to turn on that on demand switch and put everything to rest. You feel me? But at the same time, when it comes to a time frame for Tank to come back, I think this is more like a mental thing. When are you mentally ready? Because we know physically, when you're in tune with boxing and you're doing what you're supposed to be, and you're a guy like Tank Davis, it's all muscle memory. So getting in there 2 3 months straight, all that stuff gonna come right back. He gonna be right back in the thick of things. He gonna be right back in the fold. He gonna be ready to fight. He gonna be ready to knock somebody out. It's not about physicality. It's about the mental. It's about his mentality. How much have you healed? How much time do you need to heal your mental from all the stuff that's been going on, that's been keeping you away from the ring, that's been keeping you away from the gym? It's all a mental thing. It's all about when tanks when his mind is turning, it's clicking, it's firing on all cylinders, and it's all zoned back in to wanting to be the best fighter, the most elite fighter, the face of boxing, the highest paid fighter, the most viewed fighter. When is that going to click in Tank's head? And honestly, if I was his coach, his trainer, and that's what I would be looking for. If you're not ready in 6 months, guess what? Mentally, if you're not ready in 6 months, guess what? We ain't fighting Tank. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna put you back in there just to be going through the motion. If you need a year, let me know. We'll train for a year. We'll get you a fight. I know it sucks, to be out for a year, the ring rust situation, all that other stuff. But at the same time, it's all about that mental maturity. How fast can you regain that, and how fast can you focus?
I think that I agree it should be Lamar Roach. I actually think it is Lamar Roach. Lamar Roach been real quiet. Normally he kind of be in the mix, kind of talking a lot. He been real quiet, and it could be due to he healing his hand because he did hurt his hand against East River Cruz. But um, Lamar Roach been real quiet. He ain't really been saying nothing. So from my experience and watching boxing, a lot of time when fighters get quiet in this boxing game, they working on something. So you might pop up and see Lamar Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis, and I do agree, Gervonta Tank Davis got to beat Lamar Roach. Um, but he has to do it in a way where he got to show his IQ. I think Tank thought that he could just go in there and knock Lamar Roach out. And Lamar Roach is the type of fighter that's tough, right? You got those guys like that are tough. You're not just gonna wake up and walk in the gym or walk in the ring and knock them out. You got to
Mm-hmm.
use that IQ. You got to break them down mentally. And I think Tank is, in my opinion, I feel like he eager to show the world what he what what we missing out on, right? Because Coach Calvin Ford, for him to sit there, I watched that whole podcast, and he was like, "Man, y'all post stuff about Tank. Keep talking about Tank." I'm telling you, it's conversation he didn't have with Tank where Tank feel like he's been forgotten about, right? And a lot of people like Shakur Stevenson and other fighters would love to fight Tank. I mean, if Tank came out and was like, "Hey, Shakur, let's fight." Shakur signed up to fight him in a heartbeat because Shakur know Tank is the guy. He may not be the guy right now as far as popularity because it's the most the people. A lot of people do now is they hating on Tank. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. They're using the outside the ring stuff to put it within the ring stuff. And I told you I don't speak on the personal stuff. I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna speak on it, right? But at the same time, when it comes to in the ring stuff, Tank is not living up to standard as far as us wanting to see him fight the best. That's his real talk. I'm not sitting here saying Tank hasn't fought good competition, but now he's at the point in his career where we want to see him fight the best fights. And you know, you got to rematch Lamar Roach, and after that, you got to immediately go after Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, or what I'm saying, whatever. I mean, those are only two fights left for him, in my opinion. Right, is a Shakur Stevenson and a Devin Haney. Tiafimo got destroyed by Shakur Stevenson. So and I thought that was gonna be a tough matchup for Tank, but seeing what I seen in the Shakur fight, I'm like, man, Tank might knock him out. So it's we just want to see Tank in the ring. We done with all the it's Tank retiring, it's Tank coming back. We tired of it, man. If you're gonna fight, come back and fight. If you're not, then go ahead and retire. You know what I mean? I understand he expressed how he's fed up with the media and all of that. You know, if like Coach said, if I'm his coach, hey, look, don't worry about the media. Fight for you. Fight for Baltimore. Fight for your respect, your name, your legacy. Fight for us, right? We represent Baltimore, so fight for that. Don't worry about boxing media. We know they wishy washy. We know they like a flag in the wind. They over here, they love you one day, they hate you one day. We know that, right? Shakur embracing all this boxing media, but it wasn't but a year or two ago they was hating on him. So it's just like you can't focus on boxing media. You got to focus on what's important, and that's the people around you. So I would say that to Tank. But to get back on topic, I think it's Lamar Roach that he come back and fight. I'll be highly disappointed if he come back and fight Eastside Cruz. I'm just gonna be real with you.